Hey Jim, just to say, coming up to 500 subscribers. I think I'm at 496 just now. That's totally cool. Thanks everybody. I don't know 500 people. So, and that's without any sort of advertising things. I know you can buy likes and all these things, and I never did any of that. So, this is a Westone Thunder 1 bass. 1983, you can tell by the serial number in the back because it starts with a 3, which you can name these Westones with. Westone tuners. Brass nut. I thought this was a brass bridge. It was absolutely minging. It took me 2 hours with the brasso to clean it up to make it look spanking new. So I'm not sure. I think the saddles are brass. I think that's just steel, but it had a sort of gold coating on it, which I took off when I was with the brasso. So it looks good now anyway. And volume and tone with brass knobs, which are quite rare to still find the brass knobs on it. My pal Craig has one of these, which I probably did a video for about a year ago. Like, much more common colour. It's kind of natural, and it's got like the stringers in the middle, so it kind of looks like it's a through neck, even though it's a bolt neck. I think his was a Thunder 1 as well. There's a Thunder 1A, which is an active boost in it, which I've never actually played, but it's only a 3 decibel boost, and that's really all it does, just a volume boost, so I don't really know how much different that is. The guitar looks the same. And there's also a Thunder 2, which I think has a jazz bass pickup as well. So it's got 2 pickups, and then there's a Thunder 2A, which is 2 pickups and the active thing. I'm pretty sure there's a through neck one as well. I don't know what that is. Higher up the range. Yeah, so this isn't mine. I wish it was. I wish I'd bought this for myself, but I got it picked up from my pal Ivor, and it's kind of regretting it a little bit because it's rather nice. I prefer the red one to the natural colour one. I've got a guitar, a Westone Concord H2, it's called, from 1983 as well, and it's the same body shape, and it was originally the same colour, but I painted it yellow because it was all damaged. But it's got like a Strati headstock on it, so it's like a 6-a-side headstock. I think the Concord was basically, in 1983, was the same guitar, apart from it had a sort of more Strati headstock, whereas the Thunder guitar from that time had this sort of 3-a-side Gibson-y sort of headstock. Enough of that. So this thing is absolutely stunning. A Matsumoku product made in Japan, as it says on the neck plate. This is amazing. I love it. Again, I'm not even playing through. I'm just playing through my wee guitar amp. That wee Laney, which you can't quite see. It's a 15 watt valve amp. Massive output from this DiMarzio looking, I think it's probably by Goto pickup. I imagine, I think it's just a stock one, but massive output on it. Very bright, so that's turning the tone down a bit. There might be quite a lot of sort of finger noise you can hear there, because that sounds quite rude, doesn't it? Finger noise, because the mic's right there and I don't have the amp up very loud. So this has got a type of strings on it I've never used before, but $21.99 for Rotos, bright, hard hitting stainless steel strings. I didn't buy them, I normally buy cheap strings, so maybe there is something to be said about buying nicer strings. But this is a lovely bass. My first ever bass was a Westone Spectrum DX, I think it was called, which is, I didn't know at the time, but I think it was basically the same guitar but a bit later, so it was a wee bit more P-bass shaped and it had a painted neck. I much prefer this one. Just it's got the classic three-piece. I don't know if you might be able to see it. So you can see it's like three pieces of wood the neck's made of. So you've got like one piece going like this and then the other piece with the grain going that way and then the other piece going this way. Just the idea was then to make it as strong as possible. And this has survived since 1983. Absolutely brilliant. It was pretty. I think it's got a really annoying, see there, because it's got this sort of thick poly coating on it. It's sort of chipped off on the corner and it just scratches your arm. So when I give this to him, I'm going to suggest he maybe puts a bit of, I don't know what you put in there, varnish or a wee bit of nail polish or something like that, or maybe even just sand it smooth so it doesn't catch your hand. The actual bass itself isn't, apart from that, which is noticeable. Obviously these things get dunks. It's quite heavy for a bass, and this strap's slightly too long, so I'm playing it a little bit high. But amazing neck. I mean, I think these basses more than any of the other Japanese ones. I think maybe the guitar did it as well. I need to get a Westone Thunder, but they really do up the stakes and what you could get as a sort of it's still professional, but like an import instrument that isn't a Fender or a Gibson, because I mean this is as good a bass as you can get, sort of thing. I wouldn't want to put this up against anything. I mean, I'm talking, normally sometimes I say, you couldn't get something as good as this for 10 times the price. You're more than 10 times the price. There's nothing that could touch this, I don't think. I think it's got a solid maple body. But I mean, it's really simple. It's just basically a P bass. You get one pickup, volume and tone. You don't need anything else. That's why I'm kind of struggling. Normally when I do these videos, I run through about 50 different sounds, or 22 in that guitar, and 8 in this guitar, and all these things. But this has got one sound, and you can change it by adjusting the tone. So you get super spanky, and you get super bassy, everything in between. I think this one would have been the lowest in the Westone Thunder range. I think just been a one without the active pickup in it and without the extra pickups. But really what they did was to make them, the lower end ones the same with that area there. It's like they didn't change the quality of what it was you got, you just got less of it. So it doesn't have a fancy paint job on it. It doesn't have lots of pickups. It doesn't have fancy fret inlays. It doesn't have bindings or any of that stuff. But what you do have is just the basic bare bones of what you need, and they've kept the quality of that right up, like up higher than, I mean, I did play, because I've got an original Gibson EBO from 1968, I tried a modern one maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was nothing like that. This is better than that Gibson EBO, and it was 900 quid or something like that. I mean, it was like, okay, this isn't an EBO, so it's not worth as much money, and it's not as cool, but there's absolutely nothing that any sane person could play this and then play a modern EBO and say that this is not a better guitar. It's just, unless you were, you know, unless you get blinkers on. But I mean, I think there's a lot of people do have blinkers on. But stunning bass. I will be getting one at some point. If anyone's got one of these with bits missing, so it's really cheap. Mind you, this was really cheap. I really am kicking myself a bit for not buying. My pal showed me to, was like, had to send it down to, it was down in England somewhere, and the guy didn't want to post it. And that's my message was, why did he send him an empty cardboard box, you know, with a return label in it, and then the guy might post it then. So that's what they did. So he got it for like sort of mega bargain price, and well, not really that mega bargain price, because I mean, they're not that expensive to start with. But this one, when you get one that's got a couple of strings missing and it's really manky looking, you kind of, unless you really know, like I do a bit, how you're going to be able to fix it if it's not working perfectly, then they are cheap. I mean, you see quite a lot of the Spectrum guitars. I don't like the Spectrums as much as I like these. They're just too late 80s. They normally get this sort of black hardware, and they're a bit, quality wise I think they're the same. Just this one just has a sort of a certain coolness to it, and being red as well really does it for me. So rocking bass, if you can get one of these, then you'll never need another bass. Enough now, so rock on. Thanks to all the subscribers. I'll do a special video for 500. I've actually got another, I've got one, I'm not wearing it today, I've got one Mad Malco t-shirt left, a black, white one. So if subscriber number 500 wants to claim that, you can have it. I'll pay postage if it's like in the UK, but I'm not posting it to America or something like that. Rock and roll!